This September, Team Dimension Data and Zwift are joining forces to create a unique cycling opportunity. Open to cyclists of all ages and abilities, the Team Dimension Data Zwift Academy is a world-class training program designed to make you a rider who will accomplish more than just personal fitness gains. For every 10 cyclists who graduate the academy, Zwift will donate a Quebec bike to help mobilize South African communities.
The work that we do with Quebec, we can change the lives of many different people and communities, and hopefully one day a child that starts on a Quebec bicycle ends up at the Tour de France. Zwift is an amazing platform to connect with fans and to ride with people around the world, and takes indoor training to another level.
Zwift, it feels real, like you do a climb, 20-minute climb, a 30-minute climb, it feels real, and that you can really relate that to racing. I always say it's like the best thing since SRM.
I think it's a lot of people that are really strong and maybe not have the chance to show how strong they are.
The Academy doesn't stop here. Top performing graduates under the age of 22 will be invited to compete for a contract with Team Dimension Data's U23 Continental Squad.
This is a real opportunity for any under 23 rider from around the world to come into our Continental team to showcase their talent and to be a part of the national team circuits and the under 23 circuits, and then potentially get into the world tours.
I truly believe that Zwift Academy is going to fill in a huge chunk of that journey from being a dreamer to the reality at the end.
Zwift and Team Dimension Data challenge you to train today for a stronger, better tomorrow. Take action now and sign up at academy.zwift.com.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Zwift Community Live broadcast of the KISS EU race. Races are just getting underway out onto 2 laps out on the London Loop. It looks like out here today for KISS EU races that are part of the Zwift Academy. Today they are allowing all power-ups, all bikes are allowed, and we will have an A and a B and a C and a D category. We'll be covering the A and the B category up front, and then the C category and maybe a little bit of the D category on the back end of the race. If you would like to interact with us, you can do so over at Zwift's Facebook page, as well as on our Mixer and our Twitch page as well. So let's get right into the racing, though. As you can see, the riders in the A category have gotten underway. We do have the B category riders about 1:40 to go to the start for their race. There were about 328 riders logged in to this race when I was logging in the avatars myself. So a huge amount of riders have shown up today. I am seeing Mr. Michael Szymanski with a resub to the channel as well. Good to see you over there with 3 months over at the Twitch on Zwift Community Live's Twitch. Hey Nathan, when are the live broadcasts normally of you and Jasper? What's going on there? Blankin924. We've got a schedule every single week that's in a lot of fluctuation right now, but almost always we will be covering the KISS EU race. Thanks a lot for your question there. I know that Jasper is traveling along with a few others from Zwift over to the eCrit finals, actually, so that's why you did not see anything earlier this morning. We do have Ian Anderson every Tuesday and Thursday. He did race this morning with the Racer Focus. It is something that we like to show off. The Racer Focus is if you do have the ability to stream with us and you would like to do a Racer Focus, you are more than welcome to apply for that. Make sure to contact us through our Facebook, Zwift Community Live, or through any of our other streaming platform methods, Zwift Community Live on YouTube, Twitch, or Mixer. And I will be able to see all your comments over at those places as well. We'll make sure to bring you guys right on in. Good to see you there. Sniper is best over at the Mixer channel as well. We do have the B category just taking off, so we'll make sure to be jumping in with them as it does make sense. The initial break store is definitely what we want to look at. You do see quite a few Zwift Academy riders here in this front group, maybe getting their races in for the requirements. You do have to do 2 races as a part of the men's and the women's Zwift Academy. It is C. MacD here up toward the front from the TFC team. There's a new green jersey actually in Kidder. Is that one of the? No, it's not a new kid. It's just seen more than usual here. Coming out of Switzerland here, P Phone right now hammering up toward the front. Jay Wittenberg actually. Gravdal's in here from the PTZ team. Watch out for him as a favorite up here for the W, or perhaps for at least a top spot on the podium. I believe last week Tuesday he did take a third place with himself and I believe one of the Christensens, and it was his teammate Johan Gren who is on the front. Hoppy Marina is here though, hammering away. Always good to see Hoppy out there on course. One to watch out for sure, to be hanging in for a top 5 to top 10, maybe for a W as well. Christopher U23, P. Christopher, good to see him out there coming out of the UK. Watch out for this rider, especially with that U23 in the name there and being a part of the Zwift Academy. U23 riders, as we saw just before the race, do have the opportunity to perhaps go after a U23 contract on the Team Dimension Data Continental team. So cool to see a few of the U23s. I did see one other 19 years old in the name as well just a moment ago. We'll keep eyes out for the rest of the riders that may be competing for that. Le Monstre showing up back out on course here. Here's a favorite that we haven't seen in quite a while, actually. Good to see the monster on course here and hammering away just ahead of Bard. We do have Fleetwood following that up very closely. Gravdal, and then it will be Christopher Jobbers there as well, coming out of France. Melting Man showing up today for the KISS Racing team in the new KISS kit, looking real good. Then we do have, it looks like, Franken there coming out of the Netherlands, following it up for the BRT team. The initial splits are starting to happen here. Looking back, we do see Richardson just able to grab on to the back end of this pack. RB is there as well. Szerzynski making it from Poland. Looks like Billion's 19 years old. Here is one of the riders we were talking about earlier here. Riding unattached, it looks like, hanging out in, what kid we got going on here? This is familiar kit, but I don't know exactly the name of it. Let's see if we can get it. Oh, 2 times U. That's what it is there. So looking, or 2 times U is who it's made by. But I'll have to maybe get a better look here from the side. I haven't seen this one used in just a little while here, but looking back, we do see Pelosi is able to make this lead group. MP from the WBR. Actually, this is a chase group at this point. Looks like there was a split. It is Hoppin Marina making his way toward the front, and splits are very difficult to chase back, especially with the attacks at the front with a large group getting away now. We can see the little gap here from the new mini map. They are on a -% gradient right now and trying to bring that speed up. It looks like 32 miles per hour, but 3-second gap now at this point. There is one off the back, as you can see in the new mini map in the up top, and then a little bit of split between these two packs. Fleetwood here hanging out at the back of the pack. Hoppin Marina is there as well, trying to chase this down now. 29 miles per hour, 28 though from the group. It looks like they may be able to pull this back in with 31 here. MPH, they're coming from Szerzynski now. The front end of the B category is heating up, though, as they're about to take the right-hand turn into the climb into Trafalgar Square, and then that left-hand turn off toward the London Loop proper. Let's go ahead and see what's happening at the front end of the B category, as this A category has had its initial splits now. So in the B category, I'm seeing it is quite a few, again, Zwift Academy riders here getting their race in for that requirement. I do see it is going to be Dal Margo here. Is that out of Italy with Babish? A lot of new riders, actually. Fisher is there right along with Fuller. It looks like Hunt. Huge amount of riders actually up toward the front now. And now we do have Ernsberger here out of the US of A. Up and out of the south, 630 watts. Now dropping down to 423 for a moment there. Looking to find his place amongst the boys on the climb here. Team ODZ up toward the front right along with B. Curtis here from the BRT team. Then it is going to be race WBR with DA. Garrido is there as well out of the US of A. Garrido may have gotten, was he on a Z Power in the past? Maybe a different rider here, but it looks like got an upgrade to a power source if it is the same rider here. I am Batman hanging out toward the front end of the race for Team ODZ as well. Then we do have Curtis, and it looks like Bergenski from the BRT team here leading out up and over the top. It does look like there is a little bit of a split, though, in this group. Let's go ahead and click that mini map in the upper right-hand corner. See how many are jumping on. There is the split right there. It does look like it is going to be about 25, maybe 30 riders are wood here off the back, though. It looks like C. Tarbe is going to claw his way back in right along with Galerts, and then it will be Dahl out of Norway as well, going right along with him. Quite a few ODZ riders here. Magnus is in here as well. Watch out for him for a W maybe in this B category race. I've seen him be on the podium for sure in this category in the past, but it will be Tabre here off the front now, coming out of the UK in this B category. But the A, now that's the initial splits here, heating up the B category, but the A's are just starting the climb, the initial climb into Box Hill right now. We do have Kowalski here out of Switzerland trying to chase down Brown. It looks like Gravdal at the front for PTZ as we look over his shoulder. We do see live cheering and coaching in Paris with Ing Janssen. I'm seeing Mr. BJ Alfonso right now actually tuning in live from coaching in Paris with Ing. Now, this was actually at the CVR event over the weekend, it looks like. Good to see BJ Alfonso posting, and you taking advantage of the social media integration. If you guys would like to do so as well, make sure to jump right on in. We do see, Mom, I've made it big time. I've been tagged by Zwift. Ian Anderson, good to see you hanging out in the broadcast. Hop Marina for the win. World champion Sam Bager, says Mr. Kim Little. I know that they're friends in real life. A couple of shots fired, it looks like, over at Zwift's Facebook. If you'd like to do so as well, you can jump right on into the broadcast, just like you saw Mr. Kim Little or Ian Anderson over at the Facebook. Also, with BJ's post there, as you can see, the difference is he was on Twitter, and you can go ahead at Z Community Live, not at Zwift Community Live, but at Z Community Live, and we'll be able to pick that right on up to the broadcast. Our live racing at the top there, for some odd reason, is not coming up. To fix that on the fly here. We'll get that going, as we do want to make sure that we are catching all of the riders in the race right now as they make their way to the top of this initial climb right now. So it does look like I'm going to be able to bring that right on in. There we go. So grab the innovation now up toward the front with Rad Richardson now. Jay Brown and Lamonstre. Good. Now I'm going to see, when's the last time Mr. Monstre has jumped in here. Good to see you there, Lee Prouty, with a couple of the police signs coming right on through over at the broadcast here. Lamonstre, last time he's raced out on Zwift, might have been more recently than I am aware of, but 40 has 79 races out on Zwift, out of the United Kingdom, goes by the name Lamonstre. I know that he is well known amongst a lot of the boys out of the UK, and races, road races and TTs actually, amongst the likes of Cartwright and I believe Allenby and a few others there. But he did actually race the EVR Europe race yesterday, and it looks like the XRS race on the 14th of this month. Did a TT actually back on the 13th of this month, but then the last time we've seen him out on Zwift was on April 29th, so it does look like he's been out for the summer, out racing and riding his bike, jumping right back onto the platform the second that the weather starts to turn a little bit. And we do see him starting to turn the screws at the front here as we do see the initial climb. And this is such a great feature actually with this new map. You can see where the riders all are on the climb at the bottom of the mini map here, as well as Lamonstre is the rider I currently have selected, and you can see he is that orange flag there, or a little bubble there at the front end of this pack. The rider I've selected then changes also with what arrow we have there as well. We do see this is the A category riders with these red little dots here, and then we can see the B categories with the green dots now making their way into the climb just now. So great feature there added in the latest update to Zwift now. Richardson now off the front with Lamonstre, Brown, Gravdo all there together. Larson now trying to chase that down from the ODZ. It looks like he may be able to to get back on terms. 5 riders up front. Then Melty Man is right there as well, representing well in the new KRT kit. Looking over his shoulder, we do see it will be Fawn right along with RB. And then Christopher here, P. Christopher U23, 190 beats per minute right now, right along with Kowalski. Now it looks like off the back from Team Experimental, trying to make that chase. He'll be the front end of the first chase group with Trev coming out of France now, trying to make his way up to Kowalski. They'll be forming a chase group. Christopher here just barely hanging on 191 beats per minute. I think he's going to be able to do it, though. Just barely hang on and maybe form up this lead group now. Be interesting to see if Christopher here, U23, what is his past results now? We've seen a 191 just now. 21 races out on Zwift's got a nice, looks like podium profile actually there over on Strava. So watch out for this rider here. It looks like on the 17th, that is 2 days ago, in the KISS 100 kilometer race, actually took a 3rd place. That's some serious business actually. The KISS 100 race, definitely serious business to be taking 3rd place in that race. The 12th in the KISS Europe race about 2 weeks ago, it looks like as well. So looking to better that result. Looking at that result here at that 12th place actually. Let's go ahead and look through here. He was up against some serious competition, actually, with Alexis Luz, Ryan Christensen, Andrew Hinton, Peter Szczynski. Quite a few of the ones that we are seeing in this race today, actually. Max heart rate there, though, coming from Mr. Pat Christopher, we are seeing up into that 197, so he's got a few beats to work with as of yet. Le Monstre here, though, with a solid KOM. We do see the confetti there going through his name, meaning he's got a recent accomplishment there actually here. He does have a 1 second gap, but it is going to be Gavin Richardson here off the front for Innovation Cycling. RB here trying to chase him down. Not sure he's going to go anywhere just yet unless he's got a power up to go right along with himself up and over the top here. We are seeing another, it looks like maybe PR being set with a 625 here from Kowalski. Nice job to him. And it looks like Liam Bard here, a new PR as well coming up over the top. We're going to give all the ride-ons we can here. It looks like as lots of PRs are being set in the race today. Christopher now going up on the top, 190. Got about 7 beats to work with for Ultimate Max, but it looks like the monster going off the front, though, giving a kick, going down his first time down Fox Hill, the opposite side of Box Hill here. Christopher U23 going to have to jump onto that immediately if he wants to go with Le Monstre and be off the front phone now, not closing it down. It's going to be a hard day for these boys if they do not work together to pull that back in. I think that Jay Brown sees what's happening here, jumps to the front with a huge kick into the orange numbers. Now Larson trying to go right along with him from ODZ. I wouldn't be surprised if they are in the ODZ Discord right now chatting away. 12 watts per kilogram from Brown there real quick out of the US of A to get right back onto the Melty Man's wheel, and they actually pulled it in Le Monstre, it looks like, and it looks like Christopher actually in a spot of bother here, now having to kick it one more time up in the 9.2 watts per kilogram. RB there as well with that arrow power up, and then we do have the innovation rider there with Christopher there unable to hold on to the wheels as they go by there. Gravdell now, Christopher's going to have to kick again and again and again, just not keeping the speed high enough in order to hold onto the wheels as they come by. Maybe just a little bit of inexperience with the way that the dynamics of drafting do work in the game, especially on these downhills. They can be so incredibly dangerous if you let the wheels go. So it looks like, though, he may be able to grab back onto Gravdell's wheel, and Gravdell may be pulling him back up to the front end of this race. Gavin not pulling too hard at this point, but it is 47 miles per hour. Going to be very difficult for these two to pull this back in. Gravdell at the front of that Tron bike now with Christopher. 41, now Multi-Man here, 46. The group is just absolutely flying away from them now at this point here. Now we are seeing here, come on, Kowalski. Now we are seeing, it looks like, too nice outside to ride this. Lee Prouty is saying, good to hear that you're getting outside. We are seeing Burley Alfonso. What a sprint in Paris from Mr. Scotty Weiss, actually. So it looks like BJ Alfonso was live there over in Paris there with Mr. Scotty Weiss. So solid sprint there. It was looked like an exciting race to be a part of. How do I see the live stats on ZwiftPower.com? I've selected this race and nothing updates when clicking apply live results. So Craig Thompson, that is a great question actually. And I'm going to go ahead and give you the exact look of my desktop actually here so that you can see how to bring in the live results over at zwiftpower.com without you can even have them without leaving the broadcast actually. So let's go ahead and head on over to zwiftpower.com real quickly for Craig Thompson, who asked a question over at Zwift's Facebook. Got any other questions? Make sure to bring them right on through. I am also watching the chat as best as I can over at the Twitch. Rissa's in the house as well. Yes, pedal harder. Thanks a lot for the commentary there, Rissa. We really appreciate it. So over at zwiftpower.com for live results, you can head on over there, zwiftpower.com. This is where I'm at. I actually have the race that you actually, here we go. Let's go ahead and go right to the front page actually, because that's the best way for everybody. This is what you will land at for zwiftpower.com. If you go ahead and go down and find the red numbers of what our live race is right now, 2 laps London Loop here, KISS Europe race. I'm going to go ahead and click on that. And this is probably what you're seeing initially. So I go ahead and click the live tab in the upper right-hand corner here, and that should populate the racers. As you do see, it does populate there for me. And you can still actually watch the live broadcast and have the live chat come right on in through our Twitch channel as well. So if you want to follow live for the metrics of all the riders, you do see what their 20-minute power is for the race, as well as their past results history, the type of trainer they're on, all of that information, what teams that they're riding for, all there on zwiftpower.com. So that is how you do that. Mr. Craig Thompson, thanks a lot for the question. Let's get right back into the racing, as we do have up at the front now real riders with real power and real heart rates right now, as we do have Le Mans race we are seeing here, 4.6 watts per kilogram up toward the front of the race. Looks like the Summers treated him really well with Jay Brown, P. Fawn. It looks like innovation with Gavin Richardson, one of the CBR World Cup participants over in London, able to hang on up at the front here with the Melty Man there, just a little bit off the back, but gonna hang in with the riders. RB there now in no man's land for a solo TT, perhaps 156 RPMs. This guy's spinning to win, that's for sure. Oh my goodness, I think maybe something's going on with the cadence sensors, as I do not believe he's actually going to be spinning at 154 for the amount of time he's been going like that for quite some time, and this guy's heart rate would be up and over the top, exploding if it were that high there. Gravdell right along with Christopher, though. This is going to be a 2-man up TT, try and pull back 46 seconds. Not sure it's going to happen with 1 lap to go, but a few that may drop off the front end of this race might be caught by the likes of Gravdell and Christopher, who are super strong riders, just seem to be caught a little bit off guard by the attack there of Le Mans. 5.9 watts per kilogram, 172 beats per minute coming from him. 10 miles in, just 10 more to go out on course today. The drug drive trainer is better for racing rather than wheel-driven trainers due to lag in the wheel drive system. We are seeing from Steve Beck saying, always have a mare pacing with Tax Poshido. So, as far as smart trainers go, there is, we talk a lot about that on Zwiftcast, actually. It'd be great to go back through a few of the episodes. This past episode, we actually had a little chat about levels of trainers, actually, that you can get into. And I'm a bit biased toward the higher end trainers and the wheel off trainers, I think, for a bit better response, perhaps, in the racing. If you get a higher end, though, wheel on trainer, you should get a solid feel and good response out of it, as long as you make sure that the tire does not have a whole lot of oil on it. It's not slipping too much for you. So mid to high range wheel on trainers should be responding fairly well to you. As far as the highest level of accuracy, again, it is going to usually be strain gauge power meters. That is a question there coming from Stephen Beck about direct drive trainers, better for racing rather than wheel drive trainers. I think it depends on what trainer you're going with as well. I know that there are more responsive ones than others. There's a lot of great reviews out there, especially by Mr. GP Llama, Shane Miller himself, or else Mr. Rainmaker's got some pretty good ones as well, specifically to the responsiveness of programs like Zwift. So definitely, especially GP Llama for the responsiveness there. So Stephen Beck, thanks a lot for the question there. I hope I answered it well. I was a little elusive on it, but I would say direct drive trainer is going to be an upgrade, would be perhaps better than the Bushido itself there. And my experience, have not used the Bushido directly, just from what I've heard though. Melty Man here with the monster now off the front there. 5 seconds is the difference now. Richardson, Larson, Phone, Jay Brown all together in a chase group. Speaking of other products there from Tax, I think perhaps maybe, upgrading from the Bushido to the Neo, you're going to get a lot better responsiveness for sure out on course, if that's what you are looking at within brand. There's also Lee Proudy's there straight up just linking the hammer, and I really like the hammer as well. That's what I'm currently using for my direct drive trainer, and really happy with it actually. So very responsive and pretty accurate as well. Power tap is what I was using as a strain gauge there. A little bit different in power fluctuations and the way that they respond in the power, and you got to get used to that. Definitely when it comes to strain gauge versus a smart trainer, it's going to be very difficult with smart trainers in order to get immediate responsiveness. There's only a few that have more of that direct one-to-one timing correlation. A lot of the smart trainers that are out there have still used a wind-up mechanism to measure the power, and so very difficult to get that immediate responsiveness that you might find on a strain gauge power meter. That's why I always enjoyed racing or doing intervals or riding on a strain gauge. But the feel, though, of a direct drive, as well as the responsiveness that you get out of that, is always really nice. I know there are a few top-end racers out on Zwift. I think Kim Little may be one of them, and a few others out there that definitely use both a crank-based strain gauge power meter for the highest accuracy of power, right alongside a wheel-off trainer. But now, obviously, that's a really high price point, but you definitely pay for what you get in that respect, especially if they're looking under a microscope at some of the efforts at the front end of these A races. Speaking of the A race and the B race, we definitely want to make sure we're getting the coverage there for what's happening in the B race and not just at the front end of this A race. So this is the current situation, though. Le Mans with the Melty Man, 11 seconds from P-Fawn. They're trying to chase them down. It does look like Larson, 4.9 innovations there with them, too. It does look like brakes are starting to form here as well. Just hanging on. Jay Brown, 182 beats per minute. Richardson there, 170. It looks like Larson there, 159, leading it out with 11 seconds. Le Monster just dropping off the Melty Man. And this man can TT, and I'm not sure he's going to be seen again. This may be the winning move, actually, for Le Monster to take the overall W here. I think Melty Man is going back to the pack. And with the climb up ahead of them, all that can be closed down now is going to be maybe some lightweight climb. We'll give Melty Man a ride on for his efforts there, but it's going to be Le Mans right now off the front. Now in the B categories, they come through starting their second lap of 2. So this is their final lap. Bell lap out there for B. Stoke there out of the Netherlands now. Worldwide, it looks like international field in both of these races here as usual. 328 plus riders signing up today from all over the world here, absolutely demolishing themselves, getting a crazy workout, getting their ride in for the Zwift Academy as well, if they do have that badge in there, most likely there. And then up toward the front, though, will be our Wood here coming out of Great Britain with Hunt, and then it is Curtis there. I Am Batman has made it into the front end of this group here, and it looks like Galert's here now coming out of Belgium now for the TKBE team, actually, with Wood, Moore, and Hunt now. Kicker snap works fine for racing out on Zwift. Bart is saying, good to hear that, Bart, and good to see you there. Thanks for that answer. Top work. No problem there, Stefan. Thanks a lot for tuning in. I toured Cyclops facility last week. They all will fix anything. No questions asked. Great people work there, and it's 100%. Oh, so a little bit of lots and lots of comments coming through from Lee there. Sounds like you had a good time there over at the Cyclops headquarters there, SAR Cycling Group there. Can't wait to get back racing on the KISS Races. Race Howell said, good to see their race over at Zwift's Facebook. We appreciate you tuning in, and then we'll be watching out for you, Howell, for sure. Get you some highlights out there for the racing now. The Netherlands now on the front end of this B race, though. It looks like it is going to be a group. If Nathan can count it all here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, maybe riders off the front with looks like M Wood now off the back there. Don't have to chase that down. 10 seconds is a difference though. Solid 3.8 watts per kilogram. Not sure he's going to see them again. He's actually bringing it in a little bit, but that was just because there was an uphill grind. It looks like 4.1, 4.3. He's going to have to do more than these riders are currently doing ahead of him right now. As you can see, the gap is going out to 14 seconds. It's going to be up to him then just to hold off the 58 seconds here from Griffiths and quite a few others. Magnus is there as well from ODZ. I believe we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, maybe 10 riders in this chase group. And I mean, M Wood there for 3.9 watts per kilogram only with 5.0 at the front from Steinson. They're hunting him down. They definitely, I think, smell blood in the water at this point and want to perhaps grab one more spot for a top perhaps 20 or so going up in the final results toward the end of this race today. All right, in the A category, though, they are just getting into the climb now at this point over on Box Hill. This is the replication of Prudential Ride on London course, a little bit of it at least with Box Hill and then some downtown London actually that Zwift has created. If you haven't seen Zwift before, there are three courses out on Zwift. The 2015 Richmond Worlds course, actually, that they replicated. There is the London course that you're looking at right now. It had some recent expansions to it. And then there's also Watopia, which is a virtual course that only exists in the minds of Zwift and in the virtual environments that we do ride. And so it looks like Lemonstre here with a solid 14 seconds on his way up and over the top of Box Hill. Phone there coming out of Switzerland with 168 beats per minute. Now, these are real people on real bikes, just so everybody knows. Those of you who have not seen this before, this is actual real efforts. 171 beats per minute here coming from Phone. That's an actual heart rate happening right now from a heart rate monitor going into this game right now, being communicated from his trainer and his bike. And so we are seeing the power here, 422 watts actually. That's an actual power measurement that's used across cycling to see how strong someone actually is. And then there is a calculation then of how fast these avatars should be moving depending on how much that they weigh, especially on these uphills here with that 5.5 watts per kilogram, currently on a 6% gradient, as you do see here in the upper right-hand corner, trying to make this climb to try and chase down Lemonstre here, but he is off the front here at 5.6 all day long, 420 watts, and it looks like right around 172 beats per minute. Larson able to hang on to that wheel there. P-Phone. Jay Brown now going off the back here, part of that ODZ team. Looks like he's going to let his teammate go, and it's going to be Larson against the unattached rider Fawn now, having to chase down perhaps Lemonstre. See if they can work together and bring him back in. 19 seconds can be brought back, but Lemonstre there did throw down 40 there with that 5:56. They're going to have a solid effort and a solid TT all the way to the line here. Roy Macbeth is asking a great question actually over at Zwift's Facebook. Why is the dude's bike glowing? So there are actually achievements in the game of Zwift in which you can accomplish and unlock actually. One of the challenges that comes along with an achievement is the Everesting challenge, which is essentially 5 Everests actually. You actually get to the top of the first Everest and then you find out that there's 4 more to go. 50,000 meters of climbing in Zwift. You select the challenge on the challenges menu, and once you finish the Everesting challenge by climbing those 50,000 meters in Zwift, you unlock the Tron bike, one of the most coveted bikes out on Zwift actually. It's the fastest one as well. It used to not be the fastest bike actually, and they updated the game to reward the effort of getting the Tron bike. So that's why the dude's bike is out there glowing, as he has unlocked what is called by the community of the Tron bike. It's actually called the Zwift concept bike in game. There's also other bikes that you can unlock. The Cervelo S5 is the next fastest bike with, I believe it is the Zip 808s. Now, if you were in beta though, the Cervelo S8 with the solid disc wheel in the back actually, which was only a beta wheel set actually that you could have and unlock. I believe is still the fastest. We have to see if ZwiftBlog.com is hanging around here with Eric the Drill Schlang. Perhaps the Drill could let us know if he's done any tests lately, as he does send riders out on course for tests to see what the fastest bikes are. ZwiftBlog.com is a great place to see what the fastest bikes are out on the platform here. So it does look like with this solid 22nd now, we do have P-Fawn here still trying to chase down, it looks like, Lamonster. 22 seconds still going out. Not sure they're going to see him again. That will most likely go out to about 40 to 50 seconds before they hit the bottom of the climb, as these climbers will still be going uphill, and about 17 miles per hour we're seeing from him. Lamonster will be going downhill at about 35 to 45 miles per hour on the other side of this climb here. Now Larson here starting to get snapped off the back though, as Fawn now trying to turn the screws a little bit to try and make this not a sprint finish now. Let's see if Larson can get back on terms with the rider just ahead. Roy Pick saying, thanks for the explanation. No problem whatsoever. Thanks for the question over at Zwift's Facebook. Again, if you'd like to bring your questions, make sure to do so, and we will answer them as best as we can over at on the broadcast here. I'm seeing a whole lot of comments here coming through over at the Mixer channel as well. Zuskana's jumping in with us, it looks like. Good to see you there, Zuskana, as well as Swedish House Cycling. D. Williams is there as well. Zuskana actually hanging out over at the broadcast on Mixer, is one of our streamers actually with Zwift Community Live. We are actually going to be doing a live workout this Friday. We're going to be doing workout number 5 in the Zwift Academy. If you're unfamiliar with what workout number 5 is, it's the one we're supposed to fail. So if you want to see some absolute suffering on Friday, tune in for the stream with myself and Zuskana Ashley Bergstrom for some Zwift Academy, both on the men's and women's side. And we'll be doing some co-streaming, I believe, with her as We Will Die. Come mourn with us early, says Zuskana. So sounds good. Larson here now is off the back. It is 8 seconds. Looks like it's going to be a 1 first place for Lamonster. Fawn here is going to have his work cut out for him to bring him back in. 31 seconds. It's not all said and done just yet. We are seeing a solid time up on the top here. Still 5:56, so he did not beat his first time up on the top. It's going to be outside of the 5:57, I would assume, there from P. Fawn. So 30 seconds, though. It's not done just yet. Larson here could still bring back Fawn, but it looks like Fawn here with a solid 5.2 watts per kilogram is pretty much gone at this point. The Melting Man with RB Gravdell now all trying to chase down Jay Brown and Innovation here as well. This isn't all said and done either. This is still a race up for grabs for that 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th places now, as Gravdell and RB are trying to chase this down. Gravdell actually, as we said earlier, was off the back with P. Christopher. Christopher now has been found by a few of these chasers, actually. KC is out there from Race WBR. Good to see Kevin Connors actually in the race. Always great to see some of the Race WBR showing up from the World Bicycle Relief Foundation. Amazing, amazing foundation. Actually giving away bicycles to those who have transportation needs in Africa is actually really, really cool foundation. And actually, Team Dimension Data partnering up with the Quebec Foundation with the same goal there, to be getting those Buffalo bikes into the hands of those in the South African region there. We do see Szerzynski here now from Team Poland here, trying to pull away, though, from KC and the likes of the rest of the WBR boys. I'm not sure he's going to be able to pull this off, though, with a group chasing him down. The groups travel much faster out on Zwift than the solo riders. So definitely going to have his work cut out for him. I think it's all said and done actually already, as they are just about to see him at the front end of this race. Gravdo did catch the Melting Man. Here comes Gravdo, 7.5 watts per kilogram. Melting Man seeing the effort there coming from Jay Gravdo. Now 7.6 coming from him. Gravdo now at the front there, 151 beats per minute. Brown here now with the innovation rider there, Gavin Richardson, trying to chase that down. As you are seeing the Melting Man here now, 8.0 watts per kilogram at the front. and only 15 seconds. These boys are gone at this point, with Larson now trying to chase down that 29 seconds. Lamonstre going to take the win. So this is your top three, but it's anybody's race here with only 22 seconds between Richardson and Jay Brown and the Melty Man, and Gravdal here only 2 seconds off the back from the Melty Man here. We'll go ahead and give him a ride on as he tries to chase down Brandon Meltingtallow coming out of Canada. Now at the back end, or at the front end of this chase group, it will be Pete Christopher from U23 rider here out on course. Keep an eyes out for him, as he most likely will be, well, not most likely, but perhaps be within that top 10 for the U23 for the final, actually, in the Zwift Academy. If you're not sure what I'm talking about when it comes to the Zwift Academy, this is what that's all about. Registration closed on the 15th, actually, but it is 8 workouts, 5 group rides, and 2 races, actually. And there will be pro contracts to real pro teams in real life given away at the end of the Zwift Academy. The top 10 U23 riders and Team Dimension Data men's side will all make it in the semifinals. Each will win a tax trainer as well as more gear for this stage. 3 finalists advance to the Team Dimension Data U23's camp in Cape Town, actually. Go ride with the real pro riders, and 1 pro contract will be given away out of those 3, actually, for the 2018 season. Same thing with the Canyon SRAM Zwift Academy for the women. They will be advancing for the top 10 that will be winning Wahoo trainer as well as some more gear at that stage. And then head on over to Mallorca, Spain. The top 3 and 1 will be given away a pro contract to Canyon SRAM women's team, actually. So no U23 on that one, though. Open to all women for the top end of the women's category for the Zwift Academy there. Now up toward the front now, we are seeing it will be fun in Lamonstre still. Now gone away in the B category, though, we do have, it looks like Stolk now just starting his climb. Let's get back into that before we head into these final sprints now. We just definitely want to make sure we're seeing what's happening between all the races here. Only 12 seconds, so this is going to be it's a little more interesting at the front end of this B category race with Jehu right along with MR. Then it will be more there as well, 1 second back. So much closer race, it looks like, with a much larger group that's stuck together. B. Curtis from the BRT team now starting to ramp up his effort, with Gaylert's now coming out of Belgium with an aero power-up, actually, which reduces the drag on the avatar, actually, of these riders, or of the rider here that has used that aero power up, so he's able to travel faster in game. Maybe want to save that for the descent, but perhaps rolling the dice, looking for some maybe RNG in his favor there with 176 at the front, maybe just barely hanging on. That's perhaps the reason why he threw down that power. Begensky off the back here with 58 seconds now, trying to make the chase with Magnus on his wheel. Tabre is there as well with Vigo from, it looks like, TKBE, coming straight out of Ghostbusters there, it looks like. I am Batman now, right along with MR now, and Stolk still off the front there. 18 seconds is the difference. The man out of the Netherlands now absolutely killing it on the front end of this race. Going to go ahead and check out the social media integrations here. If you still have any questions, make sure to bring them right on in. Let's go ahead and check out what's happening with Lamonstre, though. At the front of the race, definitely want to see him for the crossing of the finish line. Just about 100 meters to go. 41 seconds back to P-Phone. Absolutely dominated this race. Definitely a TT specialist in real life, has shown us why that is, as he got away early going into his final lap, was on the bell lap, was able to drop off the Melty Man, Mr. Brendan Meltingtallow there, and actually Melty Man has gone backwards, was in second place, and now maybe a little bit too early, trying to hold on to Lamostre's wheel, who just ramped up the effort and just rode everybody off his wheel today. So it'll be interesting to see how things turn out when we have a few more of the heavy hitters showing up out here. We definitely have Lamonstre, who has been known to win a whole lot of races out on Zwift, but we do not have the likes of a Cartwright or Allenby or Gren out there today. It'll be interesting to see if he shows up for a few more races in the next week, but congratulations to 40 on the W out there today. P. Fawn, unfamiliar with this racer, coming out of Switzerland, actually. Fawn here, a solid effort from him, a 9th, a 5th, and a 3rd recently. A 2nd place out here today out of Switzerland. Actually has a fairly pro-looking profile there over at Strava, actually. P. Fauna, Switzerland. Nice job to him. Riding for Steiner Colnago, actually, it says in a Strava profile. Took a win in the ZHR Centurion race, but a third with his best KISS 2 kilometer pursuit league. He was a part of that as well. So this is his best result, actually, in the KISS races. Larson across the line now in third place. Nice job to him representing Team ODZ out of the US of A. Ramping up for a sprint now, as we do see it is going to be Innovation with Jay Brown right on his wheel. Are they going to go ODZ versus Innovation now at this point? The kick is early there coming from Richardson. He goes first. Not going to be able to make it happen. 17 watts per kilogram there from Jay Brown. Solid effort up and over the top of 1,000 watts. Killer effort coming from him. Brown takes it from the Innovation boy. Melty Man now sprinting ahead of Gravdo. He's going to take it for 6th, and then it will be 7th there going to Gravdo. Cross line for the PTZ boys. RB now across line just ahead of Trevidic there coming out of France. And then it will be Christopher. Solid effort, but unable to pull it off ahead of Sir Zinski. All within around the top 10. Pelosi, and then it will be KC across the line next, just ahead of his teammate Liam Bard there. Good to see the WBR boys out there representing today in the race. Let's go ahead and move our way backwards little by little here as we get into the B race, though. Again, it will still be Stoke off the front on this way down Box Hill. We'll be looking around for the rest of the sprints, though, in the A category as we keep our eyes out, though, for the sprints here in the A categories that make their way to the line here. A whole lot of Zwift Academy badges out on course, actually. If you're unfamiliar with what that little green signification and the pink signification is out on course, that is the each of the Zwift Academy riders, actually. The men have the green badge there, and the women have the pink one out on course, actually. Now we do see Fleetwood here now ramping it up a sprint, it looks like, here for Vision Cycling, actually. Mac D there as well for the TFC team, but unable to close it down. And it looks like Fleetwood's going to be able to pull this off at 180 beats per minute. Does look like, oh, an arrow power up a little bit late there coming from Mac D. Unable to get back on terms with Fleetwood for Vision Cycling. Hopping Burrito there now. Kim Little's teammate in real life, actually, from what I'm told there, and riding in for, it looks like, the Merida Factory team. Daniel Schmidt-Heine, good to see Schmidt-Heine hanging out. I've met this man in real life. He was at the CVR World Championship race, actually, over in Las Vegas. And it's good to see you, Daniel, hanging out in the broadcast. Kowalski now, it looks like, ramping it up to the line here for Team Experimental. BRT grabs right onto his wheel now. And with those arrow power-ups, I'm not sure he's going to be able to hold it off, though, as Billings saved the RNG in his favor to the line. Billings trying to hold off, it looks like, the BRT rider, though, times it perfectly with that arrow power up right to the line. It will be Schultz there, followed by Billions, then Franken there. Then it will be Kowalski, who led them all out. Just like in real life, you lead out the sprint, you usually end up off the back in the last one across the line. That's exactly what happened there. Wittenberg now across the line, it looks like, coming out of Belgium. Nice solid ride from him as well at 180 beats per minute. Now we do see Stoke here. Interesting race now starting to heat up here. Stoke went up the front, up and over the top of Box Hill solo. 18 seconds at one point, but now it's going to be Jay who's that chased him down right along with quite a few others in this B category race. Is he going to be caught right before the line? But these boys, 158 here. Gillis, they're coming from the TKBE team out of Belgium, and it looks like Curtis is there as well. Race WBR with G Moore now 1 second back. It's all going to come back together with a, looks like, 6-up sprint. Perhaps with Stokes still holding on to 5 seconds, pushes up into 500 watts here momentarily, but he's going like from way out 1.5 kilometers. Can he hold on to this kind of pace? And if he can, it will be full-on upgrade for Stoke. 184 beats per minute. It's currently coming from the rider, though. Jehu there 4 seconds back now and saying, GG, see you later, Stoke. I'm not chasing that down because these boys aren't working with me. Now the infighting begins, and there goes first place just walking away at this point with that infighting, or perhaps just no effort left from the riders, but that kind of effort at the front of this race, up and over the top, perhaps, of the category limits. There are category limits in these races, and it looks like Stoke sitting at 4.1 watts per kilogram, maybe kicking it over that 20-minute top. He will be getting an upgrade to the A category, but maybe giving the win today, right on that edge at 4.1 today, but still kicking at 450 watts, way over for the punchy efforts. This is one of the places of contention, actually, about how to categorize riders as A, B, C, and D categories. They all fit in. We'll show you real quick before the sprint does open up. A category riders 4.0 or higher, 3.2 to 3.9 for B, 2.5 to 3.1, and then D there as well at that 2.4 and under. But, you know, a lot of times it's the dynamic power, not the FTP, that really matters for racing. The power that can kick for that 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 minutes, and that's what we're seeing from Stolk here, up in that 5 to 6 watts per kilogram. G Moore, though, going from way out. Where's their power-ups? But they're not going to see the front end of the race again. And so it will be Stolk across the line for the W. But now here comes Race WBR with a feather power-up, lighting up that avatar, actually, now we're seeing from MR, but it's not going to happen. It looks like it's going to be Jehu across the line, maybe just nipped at the line. Looked like it was a BRT rider. Next one would be Curtis, actually. Then the WBR rider, MR. I think that is going out the 4th place there with Stolk there as well. What an effort there from all the riders in that B category, though, as they made their way to the line. Solid effort all around. Let's go ahead and take a look real quick at the results now, as the riders have come in, and we do have the results over at ZwiftPower.com for that A category right now. So let's go ahead and merge that right on in here. You do see 40 there did take the win, a solid 5.2 watts per kilogram for 20 minutes that he threw down out there. And you can see, this is how I can tell you whether or not somebody is in that upgrade region, actually, for their watts per kilogram, the way that things are currently being categorized out on Zwift and within the Zwift racing for all of the race organizers here. So 5.2 watts per kilogram, they're coming from 40. Peter Fawn there, Steiner, riding for Steiner there, Colnego at 4.9 watts per kilogram. Michael Larson takes that 3rd place. JML Brown, riding for More Power there, 4.7. Gavin Richardson takes it just over the top of Brandon Meltingtalo there for that 5th and 6th place respectively. Then in the B category, we did just see Bob Stolk with 4.1, just barely over the category limits, but solid ride to him. Then we are seeing Jehu there for 2nd place. Brad Curtis, now as I was saying, it's not all about the FTP always, boys and girls. A lot of times it's more about the dynamic power actually out on course, what you can kick for those shorter periods of time. You are seeing that 4.4 watts per kilogram from Brad Curtis, but a 3rd place out on course. Matt Ray, Gunter Gillets there rounding out the top 5 in that B category. We do have a few more sprints making their way to the line. Let's definitely check this out. Vigo there just crossing the line. It looks like Griffiths might have gotten the better of him as they came to the line. We do see MP here in the, it looks like A category, just ahead of Uding, and then it will be, looks like a few of the women making their way to the line. M. Munt here in the A category. It looks like K. Munt is there as well, both coming out of Germany. So we'll make sure to grab their finish in just a moment here. A. Brown now from the KRT team. We'll go ahead and give them a ride on. Looks like Saunders now. And then Slade, Hannah Slade out on course. Going to be the first woman across the line, I believe, out there today. Actually a participant in the CVR World Cup in London. Good to see Slade riding out there, part of the Zwift Academy, actually. I'd be watching out for her as one of the stronger riders within the Women's Zwift Academy, taking a solid result here in the B category for the women. I think getting one of her requirements in. I believe she was the first woman across the line. We'll have to double check that, though. And I am seeing Victoria Ivanova there out of, it looks like, Russia, actually, just coming across the line, I believe, in this. Oh, excuse me. I think we had the wrong, we just had the wrong feed up there for a little while there, but solid there ride there from Hannah Slade. I believe, though, yep, Hannah Slade just barely ahead of Ivanova there for the women now. M. Munt there, followed up by, it looks like, K. Munt. I believe a couple of sisters there out on course. They're hammering away a part of the Zwift Academy, both in the A category. They're solid ride from both of them. I wonder if they perhaps were competing in the A category as the fastest women in the A category. They actually started ahead of Hannah and Sarah Bryakov. Victoria Ivanova out there on course. It'll be interesting to see what their actual times were, as they were caught by, I believe, the B category riders there out on course, though. So solid result there for the women, though, and a few of the first ones, some of their first races out on Zwift, though, for Christina Munt and Marion Munt. We are also seeing it. Let's go ahead and look through here for, it looks like Ivanova there with a 4.2 watts per kilogram for the duration of the race. For the 20 minutes, actually, at there. Hannah Slade with that solid 4.1 as well. A couple upgrades in the A category for those women, actually. Going to be difficult maybe to race against the boys up front, but maybe get a few more women to show up and race out there. Be really great to see. Strong representation there, though, coming from Slade. For the Women's Zwift Academy out there today. So we are seeing a couple more coming through here. Come on, Batman, do it for Team ODZ from Marty Henderson. Best amateur team in Switzerland. Daniel Schmidt-Heine is letting us know when we were talking about Steiner called Nago. Thanks a lot, Daniel Schmidt-Heine, for the comment over there. Good work to Team WBR. Liam and KC rocked it. Definitely killed it out there today. I'm going to go ahead and click through and see if we can find a few of the C category riders as they make their way to the line for the finish here. If we can find them, we will be able to give you guys the final sprint. I believe they have already made their way across the line, though. We are seeing, it looks like, or coming out of Denmark, with Jameson following up there in this C category. Last chance to ask any questions. Bring them right on in to the broadcast today, and then we will be done with our coverage, I believe, in just a moment here. In the C category, though, it was and Balm, I believe, followed up closely by Legvox is out there. Good to see Legvox riding for 3.6 watts per kilogram, though, definitely over the category limits today, I believe. Well, we wait for the C category riders to come on in. If you have not seen Zwift before, let's give you a good idea of what you are watching right now for those of you tuning in over at the Mixer Twitch channel. Maybe perhaps do it, some of you who are jumping in over at the Zwift Facebook. And that is Zwift, massive multiplayer online training platform and game in which real riders are out there getting out on rides. It looks like Team Type 1's just jumping out on course here for one of their 2.5 to, I believe, the 3.0 rides. Good to see them out there gathering, it looks like, with a whole lot of riders here coming out of, looks like New Zealand and Australia early morning over there for them. Bushlato's out there out of the USA. Good to spot him as well. Always actually coming out of Michigan there. Usually an early morning, I believe, for Bushlato, I believe, out on course. But nice job. Good to see him out there riding. For the C category, real quick, though, let's go ahead and at least talk about what they did for the results. We weren't able to actually grab their sprints, but it was Samuel Legvox with a solid 3.7 watts per kilogram. Time for that upgrade there coming out of France. It does also look like Norman Baum's going to grab an A category upgrade there. But looking through here, we are seeing Yanjo Ferraz there for the BRT team, 3.0 watts per kilogram. Lee, not enough watts there. Plenty of watts for an upgrade, 3.6, followed by Paulo M. ACS Focus there. So it will be Sally Hall actually with the 3.9, and then the Grand Duke is there as well at 3.2. So that is the results here for the C category. We'll go ahead and just chat about Juanjo Ferraz and then a whole lot of upgrades coming in behind him. He was able to, looks like, grab onto a few wheels in that B and A category. So that's going to be it from me in the KISS Europe race today. Coming up next tomorrow on Zwift Community Live will be the SCR race series. Actually, we had race series number 1 last week. It is a series of races actually that you can gain points for throughout the fall actually. So definitely jump into the SCR race series. It will be on Wednesdays. It is noon Central Standard Time that we do the coverage of that race. We may have Coach Hendy on tomorrow as well. We need to check in with Coach Hendy and make sure that we're on. But if we are, we'll be having a workout tomorrow. We'll get you updates over at the Facebook as soon as possible on Mr. Coach Hendy. So if you are looking for all of the live broadcasts, make sure to follow us at all the places. ZwiftCommunityLive.com. You can see every single place that we are live, almost every single day, with all things Zwift, highlighting the Zwift community. If you're looking to get involved in broadcasting with us, make sure to contact us, and we'll do our best to help you set up your personal stream up front, and then highlighting the best of the community in streaming. We'll go ahead and be able to bring you right on in as well, perhaps to our virtual studio, or get you broadcasting on your own, as you do see with our Racer Focuses and other ways that we do have the community broadcasting with us. Thanks a lot for everybody for tuning in. And if you have any questions, if you've been having questions, what is the Zwift Academy all about? Here's a little bit about what happened in the women's side of the Zwift Academy last year. And we'll see you tomorrow for the SCR race series. As always, great job to all the riders, and ride on.
Last year, Zwift Academy opened its doors, launching a groundbreaking worldwide talent search to find the next pro rider for Canyon SRAM racing. The competition exceeded all expectation. Over 1,200 women from 51 countries signed up to take the challenge in Zwift. In a truly grand finale, on the island of Majorca at Canyon SRAM's training camp, Leah Thorvaldsen of Little Rock, Arkansas, was crowned 2016 Zwift Academy champion and the newest member of Canyon SRAM Racing. This year, it could be you.
Oh wow, I could have a shot at a pro contract, but it's for anyone. It's a huge step forward in your own fitness, and so it's not all just about the one person who's going to get a pro contract. It's a win for everyone who's involved.
Zwift Academy is this great program where Zwift is trying to get the women more involved. It's just this huge, to me, a great community. There's women coming up going, I get how this could fit into my life.
What I think is so nice about Zwift Academy, I really think that it was inspiring lots of women to take part in this adventure. Maybe they've gone far beyond their own expectations.
How far I got in Zwift, there were 1,200 females that joined, and there were 100 females that finished Zwift, and I can't believe I was one of them.
Yes, it's hard, but come on, you can do it, just do your best, because it's not just the physical side, it's the determination and to boost your confidence in anything else you do, not just cycling.
Find out how strong you really are. Find new friends from around the world. Find out if you have what it takes to go pro.
Do not wait, just follow your dreams.
Be the best cyclist you can be. Head over to academy.zwift.com to find out more and sign up today.